everybody, it's Susan. Welcome to my channel, Susan Diamond Paint. February 2nd, devotional, Luke 17:4. Even if they sin against you 7 times in a day and 7 times come back to you saying, I repent, you must forgive them. Hey everybody, this is Susan from Susan Diamond Paints. So today is February 1st. This will be for the audio version for February 2nd's mystery Diamond Painting to You square. I have about a 20-ish minute, it's a 20-something minute video. And I was thinking, man, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But then I was reading something on Facebook that I felt like I needed to share. So I tell you guys about Street Outlaws, and that we watch Street Outlaws and No Prep Kings, and I got pretty much everybody friends with their pages on Facebook. So Mike Murillo is from Texas. He's one of the No Prep King racers. He's a really cool dude. Anytime he's racing, we pull for him. We also, Ryan Martin's our number one guy. He's a OKC guy. That's Oklahoma City too, those of you who don't know anything about Street Outlaws. But at any rate, he's got a post on his Mike Murillo Racing Facebook page that he put about 3 days ago that's a personal family story. So he's this is just how he starts it out with. He says, with this personal family story I'm sharing, I'm also attempting to be cautious with my words, because I know my son's eyes will be at some point read what I'm about to share, and I don't want to hurt his feelings or embarrass him. Today was the end of middle school basketball season. Surprisingly to me, months ago, William had decided to try out for 7th grade basketball. Besides shooting around here at the shop, Will really doesn't have much b-ball experience. So, as most parents would, I worried about him failing to make the team or the embarrassment, but also knew if he did make the team, that's a 6 a.m. practice. Well, he made the team, albeit the B team, but he still made it. I was relieved and proud, but quite honestly didn't expect much more because A, he's built like his dad, and his dad's a big dad, so he's going to be a big kid. B, he has no real basketball experience. C, it's a 6 a.m. practice. And D, we are drag racing and football family, not b-ball. Well, throughout the season, he didn't start, but maybe once or twice, if I recall, and he really didn't get a whole lot of playing time, but we would see that he was proud to be on the team and was enjoying the experience with his teammates. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago, the B team, which he is on, is done. However, the A team is going to the playoffs. He then informed us that they are moving a couple of kids up from the B team, and he has high hopes he's chosen me. Not likely, just knowing his current skill level and the fact he didn't play much. So I pretty much knew the outcome would most likely be he did not get the call. Here's where the story gets good. On his own accord, he asked his mom to please continue to take him to the 6 a.m. practices every morning, even though he's not supposed to be there or on the team. This boy just wanted to be there, and maybe, just maybe, they might need him. Wishful thinking, right? Well, right before the first game, they added him to the roster. Just awesome. This is what life is about. You fight for what you want and don't take no for an answer. But wait, here comes the heart tug. So, his team wins their first game of the doubleheader yesterday, but lose their second. But he got to play. Even with the loss, they are still in because now they go to the single elimination loser bracket scheduled today. Well, this morning, William wakes up sick, and before he wakes up, Mom, for his ride, he has already battled with the Montezuma's revenge of diarrhea 3 times and thrown up once. Obviously, going to play in a loser bracket is out the window, or it should be, and it's time to call his basketball season a wrap, right? Nope. The kid convinces his mom that he's okay now to play and he doesn't want to let the team down. So Mom reluctantly takes him to school to meet the team and get on the bus. Not long after, Mom gets a text from William that he's thrown up on the bus ride to the game. The bad part is he didn't tell anyone because he was embarrassed and he didn't want to miss the game. But at this point, we obviously need to inform the coach that William just cannot play and no sense in getting any of his teammates sick. Mom texts the coach, but then goes to the game. finds the kid's bus, cleans it up herself so nobody else has to. The message I'm trying to share is, I'm so proud of my boy for pushing his will to play and showing up when he's not necessarily needed and just refusing to take rejection for an answer. I'm so proud of his mom for aiding that will to win for him when she could have easily refused to wake up every morning to take him to 6 a.m. practices that he didn't need to be at. She could have easily told him this morning that no, you're sick and you're not going today, and gone right back to bed. I wish every young man the will to win and the desire to never quit. February 2nd, Day in History, about Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is celebrated every year on February 2nd. It is said on this day, when the groundhog comes out of his deep sleep, if he sees his shadow, it means there will be 6 more weeks of winter. If there is no shadow to be seen, spring is near. The idea of Groundhog Day roots from the comparable European tradition Candlemas Day. February 2nd has always been a significant day since it marks the dead of winter. On this day, the clergy would bless candles and hand them out to the people. An old English song went a little something like this: if Candlemas be fair and bright, come winter have another flight. If Candlemas brings clouds and rain, go winter and come not again. History goes that the Roman legions brought the Candlemas tradition to the Germans, who constructed the idea that if the sun was out and an animal, in their case a hedgehog, cast a shadow, there would be 6 more weeks of winter. When the Germans came to Pennsylvania, they found groundhogs to be similar to the hedgehog used in their tradition. The groundhog was then adopted as the animal that determines the course of the winter season. The official groundhog is named Punxsutawney Phil, who appears from his hole at Gobbler's Knoll in Pennsylvania every year. The first recorded celebration of Groundhog Day, then still known as Candlemas Day, was in the year 1841 in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. However, the first official Groundhog Day at Cobbler's Knob was February of 1887. The growing popularity of the groundhog since its first appearance in the 1880s is astounding. Not only has Punxsutawney Phil traveled to meet President Reagan in Washington, but he's also appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and there's even a movie dedicated, to a special day. In 1993, Bill Murray and Andie MacDowell starred in the romantic comedy Groundhog Day. In the movie, a weatherman, Murray, is reluctantly sent to cover a story about a weather forecasting rat, as he calls it. This is the 4th year on the story, and he makes no effort to hide his frustration. On waking the following day, he discovers that it's Groundhog Day again and again and again. First, he uses this to his advantage. Then comes the realization that he's doomed to spend the rest of eternity in the same place, seeing the same people do the same thing every day. Every year, hundreds of people come from around the world to watch Punxsutawney Phil emerge from his little knoll. Why not be one of them? Of course we're going to be one of them, because we're waiting to see, do we have 6 more weeks of winter, or we're going to get that early spring? So, then I got to thinking, because I was paying attention to the conversation about the public domain. So it's a public domain for images of where you can search any like landscaping, holiday, Christmas, a certain object. Like today I searched for the red truck, the Christmas red truck, because we like the little red truck. So there's some nice little Christmas images out there that you can convert yourself with a cross-stitch pattern maker. You can convert a photo into your own cross-stitch pattern. So that's how I did the Clemson Tiger one that I showed you in the last video. So then I got thinking, the public domain. All right, so there's a public domain for images. There's a public domain for books. And then I got thinking, public domain for books. Now, public domain for books means the following. That means because it's not copyrighted, or it's however many years old, I almost want to say it's got to be 100 years old before it's released from its copyrights. But those books, free domain books, I can read on my channel. So I can read a book to you while you're watching me diamond paint on the mystery painting if I don't have anything to talk to you about. So if it's, they're running, it looks like the videos are running about 20 25 minutes or more. Just, it kind of depends on the square. Sorry y'all, I gotta fix my glasses. They get on my nerves. But I can do that. So I can read to you a book that's in the public domain. That won't violate a copyright law as far as YouTube is concerned. And then the kill a bird with two stones deal here. It will also help me on my 100 Years of Wonder because of the publication date of the book. So I've already got one picked out, and I can download it from the website that I'm going to use, or I can get it on Kindle or through Amazon. Sometimes you can get them, they'll be free. Or like me, I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, so I'm gonna get it through my subscription. So I've got the first one, I haven't downloaded it yet, but I got the first one to go, ready to go. Well, after I download it, it will be on my tablet. So the plan for Friday's video, because this will be Thursday's video. So the plan for Friday's video, and let me see here, I got Friday's video is about 34 minutes long. Now mind you, I will still have the devotion to go in it, but the devotion doesn't take up the time off the video. The this day in history takes time off the video. So it, it'd probably be roughly 20, I don't know, it might be around 30 minute mark or so. So that's what I plan on doing for you on Friday, is I'm going to introduce you to the book that I'm going to read from. And I'm going to read however long, 30 minutes long, I guess. And that's what will be in Friday's video. So, I will make sure on the videos that I label them so that you know if you're not interested in listening to the story, you won't have to A, watch that video if you don't want to, or B, watch the video and have no sound. But yeah, I plan on putting a little description in there that, hey, this is story time for this book, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, well, that, like I said, will help me get my 100 Years of Wonders list done with books, because I'll be reading them to you guys. So I'm still reading them, I'm just reading them out loud. So I figured, I might give that a little whirl and see how that goes. Now, I'll tell you this right now, because it ain't going to happen. I am not a narrator. I am a reader. So you will get a said voice that you hear every day when you're watching my videos anyway. First of the month, trying to get stuff done. Created a dumpster fire for myself last week, so I had to get that fixed today. So I actually had to talk to the person that was fixing my dumpster fire. And she's like, hey, can I call you? I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, can we like go over one of these and make sure I'm doing it right? Sure, no. I said, I can sit here and go with you over all of them if you want me to. I said, there's no problems with that. So that's what I did. I sat there with her and we went through the whole thing together so we could fix my dumpster fire that I created. So I got that resolved, and let's see, got another huge thing accomplished today that I needed to get accomplished, and used the new system that I had to use, so I was excited about that. Feel like there's a big weight that's been lifted off my shoulders on that. I got some more cleanup that I got to do, so that's the one I plan on tackling tomorrow, hopefully, and I got some things I got to take care of. So it's, week is always busy, and it's really busy when it's the end of the month, beginning of the month, because you're just things you got to get done. And I'm just sitting here thinking about that. If tomorrow, today's the 1st, Thursday's the 2nd, Friday's the 3rd. I gotta mention that tomorrow, that Friday's the 3rd. So means something in the banking payment world when the 3rd is when Social Security comes through. So it's gonna be a busy Friday. Not for me so much, just me getting my normal stuff done, but for somebody else that can't do his things and was down today because he wasn't feeling great, he's not going to be able to do any of it Friday. So I'm pretty sure he's aware of that, but I will remind him of that tomorrow. So, and then next week, my boss will be going to a conference out in Vegas, so I will be kind of in charge of the department. That's what usually happens when the big wig goes out. I'm the man that takes the place here, right hand man. But anyhow, no, I told him, I said, look, I said, because we were talking about him being out of town, he's going to be in Vegas and everything, and he's going to be out of pocket for this conference thing. I said, look, I said, if it's dire, I said, like, Bola's on fire, we're blowing up. I said, you'll get a text message. I said, I'm not going to call you. I said, we'll text you. He goes, well, don't text me like 8 o'clock in the morning. He said, because, y'all are ahead and we'll be behind. It'll be this time in the morning. It's like, okay, we'll try to remember not to do that. But, it's just kind of things I don't expect anything crazy to happen, to have to, get in touch with him that week early in the crack of dawn, but, I knock on some wood. Let me knock on it. Okay, sorry, I had to knock on my table here. That's my knocking on wood, so nothing crazy happens next week. Oh, me. So, yeah, I'm tooling right along here on the Evermoment. I like the color blocking stuff. I'm not a big fan of confetti that much. I mean, confetti is what it is. But I really do like my color blocking that much better. So, yeah, and I still think about, oh, yeah. And I did look at, I did put the artsy. I spelled that totally wrong. So I put that artsy, the link in the description, so you can go take a look at, like I said, they have Chuck Pinson, they have Abraham Hunter. I mean, just, they have different cross-stitch patterns that, you can convert anything into a diamond painting. You just have to go with the idea of the following. And most of the times they won't give it to you this way, but you just have to do the formula to, figure out your canvas size. And when I get working on mine, I'll go through that with you because I can't think of what it is offhand. But if you know anything about cross stitch, the fabric count 10, the 10 count is the same with what a diamond painting would be, canvas would be. So if it gives you, the cross stitch pattern gives you what the size is on 10 count fabric, that is the same size that a diamond painting would be. So that gives you an idea of how big or small a picture would be. Big, we'll say bigger for landscapes and things with a lot of detail, because it's just the way it is. It's the number of stitches or the size. Number of stitches usually what you go by, because the number of stitches would be an individual diamond. So if it's 500 stitches across, it's gonna be 500 diamonds across by whatever it is, up and down, vertical, or vertical, up and down is vertical, horizontal's left and right, vertical's up and down. It's whatever that is by that, and then that gives you what your size is. When you multiply, I don't know, I'm getting ready to tell y'all some crazy math right here. And what I really need to do, I have a spreadsheet, so all I have to do is plug in the stitches. It gives me the centimeters, it gives me the inches, and then I know what I have to order. So I have the formula already in a spreadsheet, so I'm not even going to begin to tell you if you're multiplying or if you're dividing. I don't remember, so I can't tell you what it is offhand. But at any rate, you can convert any cross stitch pattern to a diamond painting. Just like I said, you just go with the idea that it's going to be big. Majority of the time they are big. That's why I try to tell anybody that wants to do portraits. Want to pick out portraits for custom diamond paintings, like big family ones, like when there's about 10 of you standing in the picture. I'll go ahead and tell you this now. This is gonna be crap ton big, and I'm talking about feet big. I ain't talking about inches big. I'm talking about feet big. It's just it's gonna be wide. So No, I don't think so. So, it's hard to wrap your brain around because the diamond, the square diamond is a certain size, so it takes up a certain space. And then if a stitch is a stitch, a stitch is a stitch, whatever the size it is based on the count. So 14 count Aida or 14 count whatever fabric is 14 stitches in an inch. I think that's right. So a 10 count, 10 inches in 10 stitches in an inch. Same thing with diamond painting. 10 diamonds is an inch. So that's how you get what your size is. That's why I say go by a 10 count fabric. If it gives you the 10 count fabric size, how big the picture is going to be based that, because that's what's the size of your diamond painting is going to be. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Not going to go too long here because, like I said, I got a little Facebook thing blurb that I have for you, and I know how long it is. So you'll be hearing that here shortly. But just let me know your thoughts of me reading to you. I'm not gonna be reading at you. I'm gonna be reading to you. And we'll go with that. We'll just see how that goes because, like I said, it helps me out because it helps me get my 100 years of wonders done for my Goodreads page that task at hand to get 100 books. 100 books read, y'all. That's what I gotta get done, 100 books. Okay, so I will speak with y'all later. Thanks. Bye.